Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, colleagues. Welcome to the LGMA webinar series. This is our COP30 Curtain Raiser edition, and this will be slightly aiming to be a bit adjusted so that we will reserve less time for background information, but we'll focus more on the latest updates and being aware that it will come soon more. Every passing minute, we are getting new updates on our agenda, preparations for COP30, announcements from the presidency. So I assume you're all now aware that we're in a COP mode. All is possible. Stay tuned. But of course, the purpose of this webinar is to have our last joint consultations and updates. Starting from next week, we will be mostly in Brazil, in Rio and Belém. And in today's call, we will just wrap up all our preparations. As you have noticed, I'm just using the first couple of seconds to accommodate all the attendees of our webinar settle down so that they can comfortably join our session. So we appreciate your patience in that regard. I will soon share the agenda and we'll kick off the webinar as well. So let's give one more minute for all participants. Okay, I think we're done and thanks for joining us once again. My name is Yunus Arikan. I am the Director of Global Advocacy at ICLEI Local Governments for Sustainability, and I'm delivering this presentation in my capacity as the LGMA focal point to the UNFCCC. Um, as mentioned at the introductory remarks, this will be our last preparations before COP30. For those who are joining new, this is a recorded session, and we encourage you to listen to the presentation until the end, and then you will receive the chat. You will be able to type in your points in the chat box or Q&A sessions, Q&A part. Today, we will go through our agenda as follows. Um, yeah, we will keep the introductory part short. We will spend some time on the NDC synthesis report. We will touch upon the importance of our engagement at the pre-COP30. We will have some updates or review some updates in the last couple of weeks in various parts of the world through different opportunities, particular town hall COPs and others. We will update and share the latest updates on the position and endorsement. And we will also now focus our agenda in Brazil, in Rio and Belém. And thank you very much once again for your contributions. And throughout the session, my colleague Lea Ronaldo from UN Habitat will join us in the session related to COP30 agenda, especially for the ministerial. My colleague Matteo Bisotto from ICLEI communications team will also give us the LGMA preparations for the communications before and during COP30. And I will also encourage my colleagues from the LGMA drafting group of the position paper and other processes to intervene as appropriate. There will be moments of our updates as well. So let's proceed. Yes, these are the information that we do not have to go too much into detail. One thing important I want to highlight here that in November we will not have any webinars. And our next webinar will be in December to assess the outcome of the COP30. It will be on 10th of December. But we encourage you particularly also consider registering yourself to the LGMA bulletin or subscribe or refresh your subscription to the LGMA bulletin, because especially on site, this will be the channel where we will communicate all our outcomes daily, which will start with the 9th of November, and my colleague Matteo will take us through that later in the end of the webinar. Our website is now refreshed, updated. You may have seen that we have already uploaded our position paper and we will provide more information that the agenda of Hub is being updated, and it will be available all tomorrow's bulletin that will be released on the World Cities Day. So during this process, we will also see that our website will be populated with the interventions we will be delivering towards and in Belém. So that's also the moment where you can find and track our activities. So what we are now in this round, I'd like to highlight that, of course, we are the end of another roller coaster year. We started our journey early in January onwards. This looks how we have mobilized ourselves, and what I would like to highlight here is that we were I think the strategy that we developed was has paid off. We have presented our vision and announced it in June at the mid-year talks in Bonn, and especially after the announcement from the COP30 presidents about how they would like to handle the agenda in Belém or towards Belém, with the announcement that they will have a strong reference to multi-level and urbanization. We then accelerated our work, and all these efforts have paid off. I can comfortably say that be it the NDCs, which we hope to get better, of course, but also in the way we have been presenting our inputs, contributions to the process, and at a time when things are really concerning for many of us in the times of crisis of climate and geopolitical, we can comfortably say that we did our homework. We are bringing the hope, we're bringing the energy to the COP30 with an agenda for an implementation era starting off where multi-level action and urbanization will be a key role. We will get back to it later on, but you can go back to our June announcements. How did we finish at the last official sessions? Because now the negotiators will start from this moment onwards, and this is also available on our website. Let's remember our strategy was that to be active in at the national level through our advocacy for NDCs. We will share now new updates. Then we will present our input to the negotiation topics, and which we have advanced a lot. And beyond Belém, of course, will come onwards. We will also see these discussions starting already on the UNAT reforms and the whole spillover effect of COP30 as well. I am really very happy that when we announced our 100 days to COP30, we had made an ambitious agenda. It was announced in Kuala Lumpur, if you can remember. I can comfortably say that all these events, and even the ones that we have forgotten to put here, like Urban 20 Mayor Summit, in all of those milestones, we received or reached very good outcomes. We managed these to strengthen our journey. We have advanced in every event and across the world, and with that was the strength of our constituency, that we have united in our diversity. And I'm very happy that we have made the best use of the 3 months in the past, so that we can come prepared to this process as much as possible. This is the moment where we will spend some time. 2 days ago, UNFCCC Secretariat released its synthesis report with the submissions of the latest versions of NDCs. It's in short form, it's announced as NDC 3.0. Some countries call it as second NDCs. But the spirit is that these NDCs, these national climate plans, are the ones that are really in full spirit of the Paris Agreement, whole of society, whole of government approach. This builds on 10 years of experience of the implementation, and starting from these NDCs, our journey for 2035, 2030, 2035 goals are becoming much more real. Of course, there are bad news and good news and even better news. The first bad news is that the number of countries who have made their homework done by the deadline of September is much less than we have hoped for. 60 means less than 1/3 of the parties have reported by the deadline. This means that there are still a lot of countries whose climate plans, national climate plans, are not ready. The second bad news is that the ambition is much lower than what is needed. The UNFCCC says that we are only 10% reduction that is needed, whereas we have to be aiming for 60% reduction by 2035. So, of course, these are very concerning news, especially You are all aware that the UN Secretary General already said that humanity has lost its battle against 1.5 degree as of today, but we can still come back by the end of the century, that we can revert this cycle. But if you have heard what's going on in Jamaica, all the Caribbeans, the disasters are getting harder, frequent, and everywhere. It's I personally cannot think about a hurricane hitting my house or my community with a degree of 300 kilometers per hour. It's unthinkable. And the people are living this reality almost daily now, or every year they are facing this. So this is obviously not sustainable. This has to stop. But the time window is getting really closer, but there's still hope. We can still make innovations. We can still create miracles, because at the end of the day, these crises are human made, which means that solutions can also be human made. So that's the bad news. However, let's go to the good news. Um, the analysis shows that, as we have been discussing, the countries over these 10 years, with their discussions and outcomes over these years, from Glasgow, Dubai, Sharm el Sheikh, they have introduced a much holistic, much more stronger, focused, and much more integrated, and much more real plans. They have not just considered only mitigation commitments. They have addressed a lot of policy instruments in different human activities. They have already included a lot of references to their adaptation needs, be it in the global north, global south. So this brings us the feeling that these plans are much more closer for our real solutions, are much more closer to what we need. Obviously, they should be better implemented, they should be better financed, but at least we're in the appropriate direction, we're in the correct path, and we just have to make it better and much more faster. That's of course giving us the confidence that we have been putting this on the paper. And one of the other points is that, and that is our best news, I can say, that the subnational engagement, be it in the preparations, be it in the references, in these 60 NDCs or 60 plus NDCs, have been much better than what it used to be before. This means the nations have heard the readiness, the interest of the local and regional governments to collaborate for climate action, and so that we help each other. Mayors, cities, and governors help to their national governments, ministers of environment, their different levels of ministers, and vice versa. They also offer resources. If you look at this paragraph, already in the introduction, the NDC synthesis report says that among the whole analysis, one of the most shining information is that the subnational engagement has been much, much better than before. You don't have to focus too much on the percentages, because it's updated every moment. Because even after the submission of this report, or analysis of this report, there were new NDCs submitted to the UNFCCC. But the tendency is on the similar direction, that we have much more NDCs that are in the spirit of multi-level collaboration. Let's remember, in 2024, when UN Habitat made this analysis of the urban components, this is what the world was looking like. And it was around 50 countries, they had good levels of urban components. Around 70 countries had a moderate level of urban components, and around 100 plus countries did not have at all, or very weak elements of urban components. In fact, now, if we look at this new picture, this is an analysis made by ICLE with really a bird's eye view, very, very back on an envelope analysis, and more detailed analysis will be presented by UN Habitat on 11th of November. But from this onwards, we can already say, for example, the champ countries, the champ endorsers, have really have demonstrated that they were the ones that have been pioneering in submitting their NDCs, but also the countries who have not endorsed CHAMP, but they had been included as cluster A and B in the NDC 2024 report of UN Habitat, have been dominating the NDCs that were submitted in time. And the second good news is that there were several countries who were under the cluster C of the UN Habitat report. They have already improved a lot their national plans, so that they can offer more visibility, more engagement, and more direct reference to urbanization and multi-level collaboration. Here, this is exactly the type of the evolution we would like to see. Again, this is a clear signal to the LGMA community that what we have been asking for years, what we have been fighting for years, what we have been demonstrating as a positive contribution have paid off. We have to be very proud of ourselves. We have to be confident of ourselves that the more we are active in the climate space, the better the national climate plans are developed and implemented. And that, I think, is the biggest message we have to convey before, towards, in, and beyond Belém. Here is a family picture of the pre-COP in Brasilia that was held 2 weeks ago. I can definitely say that this pre-COP was most inclusive and most ambitious and most transparent in the way that it was engaging stakeholders into the processes. The pre-COP meetings are the last opportunities for ministers of climate primarily who are expected to sign or negotiate the deals in the COP meetings, which will be happening in Belém this time. This was like an informal exercise to see where they are converging, where they are distracting each other, but to analyze how they can work together. These have been taking place for the past 15 years or so, especially since Glasgow 2021. These meetings have opened the doors more wider to the stakeholders. We were invited as constituencies to participate, to listen. We were able to interact in some sessions. This was also followed by the other ministerial meetings in Copenhagen, in Petersburg, or in Berlin. As I said, there were more and more efforts to be more inclusive. But I can comfortably say that in Brasilia, this was the best in terms of the fact that the constituencies, the 9 constituencies of the UNFCCC, were offered to have 2 or 3 minute intervention at the plenary to the ministers on the ground so that they can hear directly without any interruption of what we want to achieve, what we want them to achieve. And here, even this picture shows how the atmosphere in the room. It's the first time I see the stakeholders joining the family photo of the pre-COP. That is exactly what we are expecting from Brazil, the country which is famous for climate federalism, the country famous for being inclusive, has already practiced of what they want to see in COP30 as well. So in that sense, this was really remarkable. This was a great opportunity. But there is something more than what you have seen here. This is all the delegations, and you can even see our LGMA representatives, Ula, Gabriela, Daniela. Our LGMA intervention was delivered by ABM, Daniela. But we had one more remarkable innovation in this year's pre-COP, which was unique for us. That was the high-level dinner hosted by Minister of Cities. It is unique because you were aware for years and years we have been trying to convene with the delegations as LGMA and different occasions, but this was the first time. First of all, it was convened by the Minister of Cities. Let's remember, Minister of Cities are not necessarily the negotiators of COP30, but the COP30 presidency, the Brazilian government, because of their inclusive approach, who are officially led by the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Minister of Environment, but they enabled this space to Minister of Cities. The Minister of Cities has used it very effectively, and they have invited all the parties to have first ever discussion on how we can improve the UNFCCC process by bringing urbanization and multi-level action to the UNFCCC mechanisms. As I said, it's not a discussion at the national level. It is a discussion of how we can improve the UNFCCC process. The fact that this debate is now opened means that Pandora's box is open. Now we have a huge opportunity, and we were very happy that the reaction from the parties, be it champ endorsers, be it non-champ endorsers, was impressive in the sense that they were eager to discuss this. Obviously, this was limited to those who were in person in Brasilia, and even there were parallel events that they had to split their delegations, but there was a very positive atmosphere in the room. There was a very clear interest that they would like to test and explore this. And that is exactly our position, LGMA position, giving us the hope that our proposals are being well received by parties, and we have really a much better atmosphere to make it forward. Again, we will come back to the LGMA position, but I want to once again recall our efforts for this year's national mobilization was particularly through CHAMP endorsers. We have new endorsers to CHAMP, but Town Hall COPs, which is an initiative of our constituency, bottom-up efforts, were really bringing citizens, communities into the climate debate, into the NDC preparation, into the way that climate debate becomes once more a topic in the public domain. This was a difficult year, be it in the north, be it in the south. Many processes were blocking the agenda. We were distracted by all these negative topics. And despite all these efforts, local and regional governments once again have opened the space for communities to put climate action as a priority, put ambitious climate action, inclusive climate action as a priority. And this has helped nations. And we will see examples like the last couple of weeks that we have seen. I'm not even referring to the previous months, but the last couple of weeks was even impressive as much as possible. We had sessions in Delhi, in Adelaide, in Tokyo, Europe, and South Africa. Delhi declaration is important because India wants to host the COP33 in 2028 in Delhi or in India. And the declaration that was developed by our colleagues in South Asia together with their partners, and it was endorsed by Ministry of Housing of India, clearly says that when India hosts COP33, this will be the time when IPCC's report will be concluded. They want to welcome COP33 to India as the first ever COP process where multi-level and urban is fully integrated. And in order to achieve this, it has to start in Belém. This was a very impressive openness, and that was a very good collaboration. Similarly, in Adelaide, which is expected to be the host city of COP31 if Australia is elected or selected as the COP31 presidency, which will be still negotiated until the last days of COP30, I guess. The mayor of Adelaide, together with the Australian Minister of Environment and all the communities around the city and the state, have made a fantastic town hall COP, and we will see more of these experience. Even in Belém, mayor will be joining us. This was again a demonstration that how people and leaders can unite. We enjoyed another European town hall COP. It was the first ever supranational town hall COP. Committee of the Regions have been convening these sessions, but this was also the moment where, for the first time, we heard European Commission officially explaining the possibility of EU, European Union, to endorse CHAMP. We also had the first ever discussion officially or publicly how the COP30 can benefit if it is hosted in Turkey, which is the second alternative, that European and Mediterranean cities can be involved. The mayor of Muğla was discussing together with Mayor Athens. So this was again a demonstration that our bottom-up efforts is really connecting to the national and supranational events. In Tokyo, Tokyo Time to Act was also something that has been evolved over the past years, especially since Corona time. Governor of Tokyo also, this town hall COP in Tokyo, also made a direct dialogue with the Minister of Environment of Japan, which is a very ambitious CHAMP endorsing country. And one of the really impressive example is the South African Local Government Association, which has always been in this process for years and if not decades, especially with Durban in 2011. SALGA had made one more step. South Africa has always been very inclusive, and they always have their national briefing of their COP30 preparations. This year, SALGA was one of the most active, one of the most vocal. They have used the experience of their town hall COPs in Africa, and they have demonstrated that the LGMA position reaches to the South African government, and it was well received. The participants, the government were really very happy with the way we were engaged in the process. And in fact, South Africa is also demonstrating a very good practice by designing the African town hall COPs together with the Department of Fisheries and Forestry and Environment, which is a unique model of multi-level collaboration. So these are just giving us the feeling that it's not the COP itself that we are talking about, it's just the result, that if you are not active at home, the COP cannot deliver the results. So here, the position that we have been working together with all the partners, I'm very happy that this position paper, which was early in October that was released, is now available in 4 different languages. We thank all the partners who have contributed in the translations, of course in the drafting as well. And we are also proud that our guidance documents to the negotiators are also now available. Obviously, if you remember, we said that the COP30 has a lot of topics, but we want to particularly highlight the 5 main asks, which start with our multi-level and urban legacy, which we want to go forward a more holistic and systematic discussion under the UNFCCC, possibly with a work program which could be come up to the implementation in the coming years if Belém paves the ways forward, and especially the hot topics on adaptation, stock finance, just transition, and all the discussions on the reforms. The position paper is now backed by this guidance document, which provides even more information, background, languages, and all these topics. And we would like to congratulate all our partners who have developed that. And as of today, we have received more than 50 partners who have already expressed their commitments to join us, to join this effort, that at the national level and global level, they endorse this position. Let's remember, this year we followed the position that this should be endorsed by the networks, because we were aware this year we will have the COP30 Local Leaders Forum, which will be also producing a political statement to be signed by leaders themselves. So we want to differentiate the role of this document, which is much more going to the nitty-gritty details of the negotiations in COP30, and is endorsed by the networks, because into the UNFCCC process, cities or regions do not make a membership individually. Only the networks at the national or global level are accredited to UNFCCC. Therefore, we wanted to follow this analogy so that this year's position is endorsed by networks, be it they are already accredited to UNFCCC or not. And here, this is not even the freshest list, because even in the morning we have received new endorsements. Now we have from all continents, networks, partners who have been supporting us in this process. We know there is even more others on the road to join us. Therefore, what we'd like to note that this will be announced tomorrow with the latest information as of today. But the endorsement link will be open. It will not be public, but if there are any partners who are interested, you can use this link. That the final list of endorsers will be closed by 5th of November, so that we can announce this at the LGMA press conference on the 10th of November. But already we are demonstrating a strong, our strength and compassion through our diversity from different parts of the world, but united in the vision that multi-level and urbanization is the way to go forward. The 5 key points in the document that was addressed for endorsement was also supported with a list of the previous achievements at the UNFCCC space. And we have even updated with the links, which is now available, that you can all track back all the previous discussions. This was important. This was very clear when we were preparing for this legacy preparations, that in the past couple of years especially, different UNFCCC bodies has discussed urbanization and multi-level. There are discussions in finance community, mitigation community, adaptation community, but in fact, none of them are aware of each other. They don't know what the others have discussed. So it's not the fact that they do not recognize it, but the fact that they do not discuss this systematically. That's our biggest weakness of this process, which means we are not at point zero. We are not starting from scratch. We have been working on these more than 30 years, but especially in the last Paris Agreement era, we have built a huge capacity on that. The mission is now to consolidate all these efforts, to bring them all together, and to make it much more effectively discussed, so that the solutions we can develop is much more integrated, much more holistic, and much more reaching to the ground. And that is our vision, that it will take time. It will not be overnight. But if we can have an important building blocks, a foundational text in the negotiated outcomes in various topics, then we can use it, especially with the outcome of the IPCC report. And I'm very happy that COP30 presidency at the president level, Ambassador André Delago is fully following all our discussions. We will have more updates soon. Even tomorrow, we're expecting a very important initiative that our urban special envoy of the COP30 president, Philip Young, will release an interview which will make a direct link to our LGMA position paper, showing that COP30 presidency is doing its best to elevate this into the outcomes. And we are very happy that the other countries will also be hopefully welcoming this. Now we are focusing on the agenda in Brazil. When we say Brazil, it's a couple of destinations, it's a couple of days. So it's not just Belém, but we are talking about Rio, the the local leaders forum. Then we will go to Belém, to the leaders summit, and I'm very happy that we have some very good updates, which has just evolved in the last couple of hours. Even I was not confident of this in the morning webinar, but we have more updates on that now. So let's remember our journey will start in Brazil with Rio on 3 to 5 of November, which means just Monday. It will be an impressive gathering of all our community, all our family, gathered under the leadership of COP30 presidents and Bloomberg philanthropies. It's a fantastic demonstration of our diversity. There are numerous events. It will be really a fantastic compilation of activities. It will be concluded with a high level plenary on the 5th of November, where we will be listening to the outcome statement, which is already negotiated by leaders. You can already see our co-chairs, which reflects diversity in terms of profile, their gender, their regional balance, and also typology of the urban and subnational communities that they're representing. But the outcome document will be even expanded beyond this co-chairs. Um, on these days in Rio, there will be numerous moments, and that will also be an opportunity for us to prepare ourselves for the agenda in Belém. I cannot list all the activities. I know, for example, Jeff 8 will be launching its new program. I know there will be discussions on urban transition missions, but the two things I can highlight here is the fact that we will be using this opportunity to make a pre-launch of our hub 30 COP30 hub, cities and regions hub. Those who are not able to join us in Belém can already celebrate it in Rio, the 4th of November, with the fantastic leadership of Brazilian partners, Brazilian Minister of Cities, and all contributing partners. We will be welcoming all of you so that you can have a preview of what we can expect in 2 weeks' time. And on the 6th of November, we also will have a special event where we will showcase and we will share our experience of the City Climate Weeks, City Climate Action Weeks, and Town Hall COPs. You may remember over these 2 years, building on the London Climate Action Week, we have expanded to Baku and beyond, and our colleagues from Globe, Malini Mehrav is also be joining us, and Town Hall COP host cities will also be joining us on the 6th of November when the Local Leaders Forum is concluded. So if you're still in Rio, feel free to join us. But now we are expecting what to come. So on the 5th of November, Local Leaders Forum will be concluded, and the day after in Belém, world's leaders will be meeting under the invitation of President Lula. This is, of course, a bit different. It's not a typical negotiation. It's not a UNFCCC agenda. President of Brazil is convening this in its own capacity, but he is trying to make sure it's fully aligned with the COP processes, but introducing a very high level input. There will be numerous outcomes, including several declarations. And what I'm proud to inform you that as of today, all 9 constituencies and several subnational leaders have already received invitations. On behalf of the LGMA constituency, we have positively responded to the presidency that ICLEI President and Malmö Mayor Katrin Yamé will be representing LGMA constituency during these 2 weeks on behalf of all of us, and she will be joined by several other subnational leaders, local and subnational leaders who are directly invited by the presidency. And we even expect, just like the pre-COP, that they can interact with the ministers, or not the ministers, this time they will be interacting with the prime ministers and heads of state. The last opportunity, such opportunity was in Dubai, where Mayor of Kiribati, Mayor Barnaco, was interacting with the ministers on behalf of LGMA. So we will be experiencing once again this atmosphere, and these outcomes on these 2 days will give the expected impetus to the negotiations so that they can come with a good outcome. We have our tracking sheet of LGMA. This is now showing that we have multiple avenues. We have interventions, we have negotiation sessions, we have side events, we have pavilion events, and we have action agenda events by the presidency. As of today, the most important ones that we can be comfortably aware that we will have an opening plenary intervention, we will have a high-level segment intervention, and for those, since we are hosted in Brazil, we would like to offer this to our Brazilian leaders. So for the opening plenary, we would like to invite the governor of Piauí state, who is also the Northeast collaboration, and he will be delivering this on behalf of all of us. And the high-level segment will be on the 19th of November, where we would like to invite Mayor of Belém to honor his commitment to host this in a fantastic atmosphere in Belém. We know there are still logistical challenges, but it is a very powerful statement that Mayor from Amazon is addressing the high-level segment. There will be numerous opportunities in order to respond these invitations where the LGMA speakers can be mobilized. We encourage all the LGMA partners to track or to update the tracker sheet so that who is available on which day, which capacity, so that we can nominate these into the appropriate slots. We are proud to say that our agenda of the pavilion is also COP30 Cities and Regions Hub is almost finalized. This year there is an additional innovation. You will see in the action area there will be an urban corner, there will be an urban neighborhood, which is following the axis 4 of the action agenda, which is shared by 4 different pavilions. Starting with Cities and Regions Hub, we will have Buildings and Coolings Pavilion, we will have Water for Climate Pavilion, and we have the Disaster Reduction Pavilion. These 4 pavilions will have a joint alley or a corridor, a street, which will give you exactly the feeling that you are in a city, in an urban space, which reflects all the diversity and the challenges and the opportunities of our constituency. And we are especially grateful for Brazilian Minister of Cities, who have made this possible with all their leadership, commitment, passion, but also the resources from partners from Brazil and across the world. And of course, as ICLE and UN Habitat, we are proud to convene this space together with all our partners involved. I'm happy to show you that this year's partnership is really now completed with our donors, partners, and we have numerous session hosts who are also contributing into this process. We have already finalized. Don't take this picture even in the last couple of hours. This agenda was being revised, but you can comfortably be aware that from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. we will be hosting numerous sessions from different voices of our constituency, and this will be an opportunity for us to demonstrate that our readiness to contribute to the agenda of COP30. With this, I am now ready to give my speaking slots to my colleagues Lea and Matteo. In the morning, we switched to first Ariel for the communications, but I'm not sure, Lea, are you ready now that you want to come early this time? Or shall we continue with, again, Matteo for the comms part?
Let Lea go.
Lea, ladies first.
Thank you, Yunus. Yes, please.
I'm
That would be very...
sharing. I assume you have your files from your computer.
You have... Wait, I'll share my screen.
Yep.
Wonderful. All right. Can you see my screen? Just confirming?
Yes, we can.
Thank you. Wonderful. Good evening from Nairobi, everybody. Thanks so much for inviting me to be part of this. And I'm giving the same disclaimer that I also did this morning. This is what we understand to be the agenda as of today for this 11th of November. And again, I can bring in my tagline 1111 for SDG 11, which is just so good. So I can say that before Matteo comes on comms related things, which is even better. So this is what we understand to be the agenda for the day. Super exciting, multiple events related to cities and multi-level climate action throughout the day. And I will walk you through all of this really briefly. And then, if there's any questions, please do let me know. So we'll start the day with a high-level event on science and research. Very exciting. We have IPCC Vice Chair confirmed, multiple lead authors confirmed, mayors, ministers confirmed, which is very exciting. Then we have as a next slot, 2 events happening in parallel, which are relevant for this community here: a roundtable on nature and climate, where we'll have, as of now, I'm not going to go through the entire speaking list, but the Dutch water envoy confirmed, the mayor of Paris has confirmed as well for this just now, and the Minister of Environment. Then we have in parallel happening to this a multi-level governance event happening, which is where the COP30 presidency will be launching their pathway for accelerating solutions. And this also includes, of course, CHAMP. We will bring together non-CHAMP endorsing countries and CHAMP endorsing countries, really with this idea to hopefully get more countries to endorse CHAMP, here. Then there is 3 events or several events that are relevant for this community here. Financing the implementation of NDCs 3.0. This event has gathered so much interest, which is a good problem to have, meaning we have most likely GCF, we have several MDBs confirmed, ministers confirmed, mayors confirmed to be speaking in this. Very exciting. Then in parallel, the ICPC meeting is happening. I don't have too much information about that. I don't know if colleagues from UNEP are on the line and want to speak about that one. Then an event on housing and informal settlements. First time ever that this is being really put forward as a strong topic from UN Habitat side. So we're really excited about this. Also, again, multiple ministers, mayors confirmed, including Cuba, Azerbaijan for now. Now I'm blanking. It's and in parallel, the Beat the Heat Extreme event is happening. And then in the end of the day, we will bring everything together as part of the closing plenary. The idea is for this closing plenary to really be the event where we are connecting the dots of all of these events throughout the day. So that means all of the events you're seeing in white here. That also means the water event, a water event that's happening, and a solid waste management event that is happening, to really showcase the breadth and the depth of this topic as part of a closing plenary. That will take place in one of the big UNFCCC rooms. So really, I'm calling it the Big Bang event of this day. We're really excited how this is shaping up. As of now, we'll definitely have the COP29 president, the COP30 president. We'll have, it looks very likely that the governor of California will be there, mayor of Paris, Malmö, hoping to get Adelaide to be there, but with the agenda being much more interactive and innovative than in the years before. We'll have an opening. We most likely will have a small segment around a fireside chat. Where do we stand on cities and regions and why are they important for climate action, reflecting on 10 years of the Paris Agreement, then a feedback session from all these different roundtables, a feedback on all the different COP initiatives, and then 2 segments around showcasing the vertical integration around that will need to happen. So bringing together ministers of housing and urbanization and ministers of environment, and then the horizontal and then the vertical, showcasing the multi-level climate action, bringing together ministers, governors, and mayors. That's the agenda. I think I again showed this slide and this morning, really saying, hoping for this to be crowd intelligence. This is, so to say, the current split up of regional and so governors and mayors that we are hoping to have across the different roundtables. I mean, I briefly spoke about this as part of introducing the roundtables, but please, if you do know somebody's coming, not coming, flag it to us. I know there's lots of moving pieces here, and really wanting to build on the crowd intelligence of this wonderful group here to make sure we can integrate everybody as best as possible. As I know, because I know this has been a concern in the past, we haven't clocked together all the local leaders in the end or of the roundtable. They are really sprinkled throughout all the different events. So expecting there to be everybody to be able to speak. I'll leave it at this. Maybe just one last point. What is exciting is that all of this is happening on the 11th, which means there will be plenty of time for this to hopefully be setting the tone not only for COP30 overall, but also for the negotiations. So we are really looking to make sure that this can be set us off on a positive note. We are looking to have a declaration coming out of the ministerial meeting of the closing plenary to be signed and endorsed by ministers of environment and housing. And there is a piece around encouraging really cities and regions to be more strongly as part of the negotiations. So we also hope that this gives a positive spin and positive note for the remaining of COP30 to come. This is spearheaded by Brazil and Malaysia together as an effort. I'll stop here and handing it back to you, Yunus.
Thank you, Leah. Let's just additional points for emphasizing the importance of this moment. Let's remember this is the first 2 days of the COP30. And in fact, this is the beginning of a 2 weeks journey. And obviously, this is one of the reasons why Brazilian government and Minister of Cities wanted to have it as early as possible. Of course, it was a fantastic overlap with 11th and 11th, as you have said, Leah. But there is also a reason, because the outcomes that we will get from these sessions, of course, will have to be then communicated to the negotiations. Of course, this is an initiative of the presidency, and it is the climate ministers who will adopt the decisions 10 days later at the high-level segment on the second week. So the more ambitious and the more solid and the more specific outcomes we can get from this day can help us to feed into the negotiations, to feed into the high-level segment in the week after. That means that the end of COP30 this day is not just the end of the whole process. In fact, another journey will start, and that's why we need continuous collaboration with all the parties, the secretariats, the UNFCCC presidency. But after the 11th of November, we will feel that we are much more confident. And you have seen there is also numerous announcements throughout the day. There will be several events in the Axis 4 room and other rooms. So this is giving us a huge boost at the beginning of the COP30. And that will be really a huge opportunity that we haven't received this before. We had different modalities, but this year's will also be giving us a very, very advantageous kickoff to the whole COP30. Congratulations once again. As you heard, more updates will be coming. And now maybe I go to the Matteo so that he gives us the guidance on how we will communicate before, during, on site and virtually or online. Matteo, the floor is yours. Do you want to use your screen, or shall I show the screen that I have? You have it already?
Yes, I could use my screen.
Perfect.
You're seeing the website, right?
Well,
Yeah.
in the web we
Yeah.
now see the website.
Right now, yes.
Yes,
But in the
perfect.
presentation, there are also information about the topics.
Do you have Ariel's presentation?
Sorry?
Do you have Ariel's presentation?
Yeah, it is available. I mean, I can show it back.
Okay, then yes, you can do that. Otherwise, I'll just show the website and the bulletin and so on.
If you like, you can. Okay, let me open.
You share the screen, and I'll
perfect.
and I'll just start. So first of all, thanks everyone. A little disclaimer, just to echo what Yunus and Leah have said. At COP, there are always moving pieces. So what we have here is a structure. Things might change even during COP, but that's why we are trying to get to COP with as much preparation as possible. So to communicate, we have a few different channels on the LGMA side. The first, probably and most obvious one for us has been so far the daily mailer. So this is a way, a platform for us to share, your activities, announcements, analysis, whatever that you have to share that is relevant for the whole LGMA constituency, and hopefully strike the right audience, right? So for the daily mailer, we encourage even every one of you to send us stuff. We will send out an email on how exactly to do that. Now, the daily mailer, for those who are not familiar with it, is basically our flagship newsletter, the main thing that we do at COP to communicate whatever is happening there. It's normally sent out each morning. We'll aim, to deliver it before you start the day at COP if you're in Berlin. It captures normally what happens the day before. It has some highlights on the negotiations, as I said, on announcements and events of the LGMA and or partners. Now, if you're following the negotiations and are there, with us, you can share some quick analysis or reflection. We don't need them to be in a formal report kind of style, just like a short paragraph or a few bullet points. That will be enough, just to help everybody, stay up to date, because we cannot be in all places at the same time, right? Again, we will share, instructions on how to do that. Another popular feature that we tested last year and we're definitely bringing back this year is the daily video updates. In short, a member of the LGMA partnership will each evening give us a rundown of what happened on the day, what to expect on the day after, and then we will include that in the daily bulletin. That's also a, I guess, more friendly way to be informed of what happened on that day. These are very short videos. We're talking about 3 to 5 minutes. They are shot on the ground at the pavilions. It just gives a sense of what is happening at COP. I'll be producing those this year again. So I may just grab any of you and put you on camera and you just give us a reflection. We will also send out an email on how to do that and basically ask you if you have a particular day that you'd like to contribute or not for these videos. It's casual, it's quick, it's not anything too formal. It's just to, again, share what's happening there on the ground with the whole constituency. You can, as I mentioned, submit your content for the daily mailers, announcements as new report, publications, partnerships, any launches of assets or initiatives that obviously make sense for the whole LGMA constituency to know. We will share them with probably with the call for content that we go out. If you've been submitting things for the LGMA bulletin, you might be aware of this form that we have. It's a normal Google form, and that allows us to track things much more easily than having to follow all the emails and avoiding things falling through the cracks. All the content that you submit can also be added to the LGMA website. Well, now I'm not sharing my screen, but if you go to the LGMA website, you will find that there is a section on latest or updates, I think it's called. And then in there, you find different type of news. You find, even the daily mailers for COP. You find the LGMA interventions. Everything LGMA related is going to be on the website and is going to be promoted on the bulletin. That's it for the daily mailers. Then one other channel that we have is the press conference and opening statement on the 10th of November. Now the LGMA will have an opening press conference. I think it will be webcasted, right, for those in Berlin, if I'm correct? Yes. And alongside it, there will be an opening press release that includes also some quotes from our constituency members. We will share the draft of the press release around the 4th of November, and then you'll have until the 8th or 9th to send in your quotes, and then we'll cluster them together into a cohesive document and publish it. We invite each organization to contribute with one quote, either from an elected leader or a senior staff. Am I saying everything? No, right. Also, if you could send your boilerplate description along with the quote, that would be useful for us. And I think, yes, here we have the last year's reference just for style and structure for you to check. The conference has been... Yes, there's one last thing. The press conference is organized this year as well in collaboration with Under 2 Coalition, UN Habitat, and we're also inviting the representative from the Ministry of Cities and the local leaders forums. with the aim to show, the strength and unity of the whole constituency across the different agenda and stakeholders groups. I think you can go to the next slide, the outcome statement. Yes. So normally when COP concludes, we issue an LGMA outcome statement that kind of provides our joint reflection on what has been achieved, where the negotiation landed, what didn't work, and so on. It is written collaboratively, kind of like the COP30 position. Often it's actually the same group that writes the position and the outcome statement. We'll again invite quotes from the constituency member, and we aim to release it the day after COP, so that, again, all the work is going to be done like very last minute. We prepare part of it ahead of time, and then we will see, adjusting based on the COP results. Then, during COP, there are also obviously a situation that can move quickly. We may need to respond collectively to new negotiation text or language. So we will coordinate kind of like ad hoc communication and responses with you all. We have a WhatsApp group and some email channels. Probably, at least for those on the ground, the WhatsApp group will be the preferred one. And again, this is all based on coordination, just to get you all on board and have our responses as quickly and as best as we can. In those cases, we might also need to bring in your comms teams as well, just to help shape the messages in a way that makes sense for the public. And or draft some talking points for someone to speak. So just try to be alert to those updates whenever possible, please. I think that's pretty much it. Last minute thing, just that we're probably going to connect with your communications leads as well. So if they're not already on the LGMA distribution list, please contact us and we'll add them, so that we are all we're all there together, we're all on the same page. And I think that's pretty much it. I'm gonna paste the subscription to the daily updates here in the chat now. Yes, that is also on our website. I think it's on the home page. You'll find it easily. There is a big button, subscribe to our daily updates. That is definitely the best way you have to stay up to date with everything LGMA related. Tomorrow we send out the bulletin, the LGMA bulletin, that will include the position with the endorsers and just a rundown of everything that you can expect at COP. And all the top reads to prepare yourself for COP. It's the curtain raiser just before COP. And then we'll start, when COP starts, then we'll start with our daily updates. I think that's all. 2 minutes left. Yunus, did I forget something? Otherwise, back to you.
All good, Matteo. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Indeed, advocacy and communications is going hand in hand, and we're very happy that this collaborative effort is expanding in every year. So we thank all the communications team, working group, Matteo, Ariel, and all the colleagues joining you. In tomorrow's bulletin, you may receive a very interesting surprise. I will not share here. We are still waiting it to be confirmed, but it will be a very, very welcoming, warm surprise. And just to make you excited, I will not say it. Because it may not happen as well, so we don't want to be ashamed later on.
Yeah, I was about to say we will see tomorrow morning if there is a surprise or not. So far, there's no surprise.
Anyway, so there are a couple of chat box messages in that sense. Let me use the last couple of minutes. First of all, Laura, thanks from National League of Cities. Yes, we are very happy to have your logo there. You have asked about WhatsApp group. So we will not share the WhatsApp group link here because we have partners who are not necessarily the LGMA constituency members. We have partners who are guests, because these webinars are promoted globally. On anyone on the web can come in. But definitely we will include you. And that is similar message to our colleague from Power to Transition Initiative. As far as we know, you were joining our webinars. That was always a pleasure, but we were not able to accept your endorsement because, as we said before, we are limited to the networks of local engineering governments. As far as I know, you are a community or citizen initiative, but if I am wrong, please correct me so that we can bring you back. That also reminds me because during the endorsement phase, we also received applications from our cities and regions directly, and we were trying to communicate the message that we are not able to accept because of our agreement that this will be networks, and the leaders at the contribution will be in the local leader statement. We'll still give the opportunity that those leaders who have endorsed on behalf of their cities and regions could explore whether they can register on behalf of another network that they are involved in, so that we stick to our original intention, but we can work on it later on. I'm wondering whether I have missed any other points. Veronica, you were asking about whether the webcast. From the hub, we will have some sessions maybe recorded, but there will not be an online webcast. You have heard, or you may have, you remember, Veronica, web connections at the COP venues, blue zones are always becoming problematic. Security reasons, jammers are in the room, and we do not know what exactly the physical technical infrastructure yet. So we wanted to be safe, but that's the reason why the mailers are so important, because whatever happens during the day, we will do as much as possible that you will feel, even if you're not there on site. So bear with us, and we appreciate your uh, flexibility and understanding on that. Hopefully, the next years, maybe we can have something different. Um, so, Kata, did we respond all the questions? Can you remember?
There was still a question from Veronica Arias. I don't think you answered that. Are most of the LGMA events going to be live streamed?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Sorry. Sorry.
That's
But
what I
then,
responded.
then we can,
Several events, like
yes.
as far as I know, the press conferences, the official UNFCCC side events are webcasted, but the hub events, depending on the resources of each hub, it may not be possible. So let's see, but be prepared that you can hear it afterwards, not online or in real time.
No, okay, then I think we answered or you answered all the questions.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right.
We're already 2 minutes over. I just want to go back to our partners, being aware we're still over the time, but in case there are any partners who would like to add any points from the LGMA community, especially the partners in the drafting committee, in the guidance documents. But as Matteo said, we will have the opportunity for our first mailer on 9th of November coming up. Anything that is missing or anything that is coming in between will be reflected. So stay tuned, stay connected to us. Those who are traveling to Rio, we wish you the best of success and luck. I personally will be going directly to Belém, hopefully, if all goes okay, similar to Matteo. And we will be then joining the rest of the other colleagues on site through this opportunity. Once again, not just for today's webinar, for your patience, but your year-round engagement to the LGMA community, LGMA family. As I said at the beginning of the call, there is a reason why we have to be hopeful, because we don't have a plan B. You have heard that the climate emergency is getting worse. We have the window of opportunity to reverse this tendency if multi-level collaboration and the opportunities of urban world could be seized in time and in the space, in the pace that we need to. And we as LGMA are on the front line, both in the risks, but also the hope, the opportunities, that we could develop together with national governments, communities across the world. We are committed that this process should succeed, and we would like to make sure Belém leaves a fantastic legacy for all of us. Thank you very much. Jan, I think this time you will not see you, Jan from City of Paris, who was always being part of the LGMA community all these years. This time you will have a different hat, probably a bit relaxed, but we are so happy to have your contributions as well and your support. Delphine, I see also your messages. I hope you can stay tuned. We look forward to welcoming STSN Urban Finance Commission as an endorser in the coming days. For the LGMA event, I hope you can respect that it is under the LGMA community, but we are more than happy to work with you, especially as SDSN Urban Finance Commission will always be a strong partner of our community. Great, great. Okay, so wish you a nice day. Stay safe and stay committed. Bye bye.
Bye, everyone.